Yes, good evening, people. Good evening, good evening. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody is doing well. It is another match preview. Time for another match preview, and it is Manchester United travelling to Turkey to face Galatasaray in Istanbul for a Champions League night. But it's one of those odd kickoff times, 5:45. Um, Local time, that is. Obviously, the match should be played several hours ahead of us, but it's a strange one for United fans because I think it's one of those everybody's going to finish work and sort of rush back to watch it. But thankfully, for me, I'm having to do a pre-record today because I haven't really got much time. Probably going to have to take an early night because work is it's retail, isn't it? It's retail, and we're getting close to Christmas now, so everybody's kind of going a bit crazy, a bit loopy, and I need to be going in and out of work every other day. So yeah, it's hard to pin down, but we manage. We manage, and thankfully, I do actually finish my work tomorrow at a bit more of an earlier time. So I've got more or less the afternoon to be able to catch the game, and it doesn't sort of coincide in times of the day where I can't actually watch this game. I think I'll probably be on a show as well about that sort of time tomorrow as well. I think it's be with the Wolfgang Division on his channel. For the life of me, I cannot remember what the show's going to be about, but I'm sure I will be reminded in due course. But do be sure to look out for that one. There will be a match reaction as per usual, and probably either straight after the game or it will come a little bit later on, about an hour or so after the game, um, due to reasons of availability. But we'll do what we can. It is a big night. It's a big game. It's a massive game. It's must win. I mean, everything is a must win. I'd say the simple fact that we lost to Copenhagen away last time out. It's like I classified that game there as the end of the Champions League for Man United, because if you can't beat Copenhagen away, there's not really any sort of reason to believe that United will go and will win against Galatasaray away and then Bayern at home. But a little side of me is feeling as though it's have changed a little bit. To see Everton away is a tough away day. It is a tough away day, an Everton team that, unfortunately for them, got given a 10 points deduction by an Everton side that were, in league standards, were actually starting to find some relatively good form. And, they're picking up wins in tougher fixtures. So, fair play to them. Um, and I feel like the way in which that performance went, it's it's one of those where we got lucky to not concede goals, but it's like at the same time the players we had playing, they did well enough to actually do to get a decent result, and the result itself was actually a very good result, and you see that, and that be a performance away from home is like there's your audition to try and go to develop some form of performance out in Turkey, right? Away in the Champions League. Now, let's not beat around the bush. It's Istanbul. It's Galatasaray away. Those lot, it will sound like you're in the middle of a war zone out there. So you're gonna need some big characters in that team. Now, as to who as to who these big characters are, is anybody's guess, because let's be real, a lot of the big characters in this team are those that have criminally underperformed this season. And it's usually technically the younger players, the kids in the team, have actually been the ones to put in the best performances on average versus those that are the more experienced players. So for me, I pose the question, another big night for the academy players. We saw Kobe Minu play a very good game against Everton. on Sunday, and Garnacho oozing class and confidence. Will we want to continue that role? Who knows? I think it's worth putting that to putting a shout in for Garnacho to starting this game, but also having Kobe Minu start, and that to me is not just a question for myself to think about to answer, but pose the question to you guys as well. What do you guys think? Do you think that from that Everton result, should it be a Garnacho and Kobe Minu starting in this team? For me, I would like to see them get given that chance. It's a massive game. Don't get me wrong. It's a massive game, and it is a very hostile atmosphere. But I mean, I'm sure, surely they would travel to be part of the squad, and I can't imagine that Ten Hag has not got it in his mind to think about considering Kobe Minu starting, or being involved at least in playing a big part in this game. I think it's one of those dilemmas for selection in midfield that is a healthy selection dilemma, and it's one that I think is got to be on everybody's mind. And I believe I would like, now maybe I'm sort of living off in La La Land, maybe, but I would like to see Kobe Minu get another start, as to say we were one of our best players against Everton, and the job you did was very good. Let's see you do it again. As per the quality between the two teams, between Everton and Galatasaray, you know what? I actually rate those two teams at a similar-ish sort of level of quality per player, um, or players per position. I do rate them at a similar sort of stature, and you know what? It's gonna be an interesting game. It's gonna be a very tough game, a very interesting one at least. But based off from what I've seen against Everton, some of the individual performances from players where people stepped up and helped to deliver a, uh, a good resounding win. Which, by the way, as mentioned on Sunday night's match reaction show, do be sure to go watch that as well. That did have long-haired Yeti and Wolfgang Division present on that show. I mentioned in um, that what did I mention? It's gone from my mind now. So obviously, Kobe Minu, fantastic performance there. Garnacho, fantastic performance. I had someone in my mind that I was thinking of, but it's completely gone from view. But for me, I just believe that this is a sort of scenario that faces this squad, that I believe that this team, they can go and do as good a performance, if not better, against Galatasaray. The invitation is there, right? The invitation to go and get something in Turkey is there, and we should take the initiative. We should take it. We should go to play for the win. We should go to build upon what we have attained. That's what I was. Now I've remembered it. The away the away win against Everton was the biggest win, scoreline wise, the biggest win that Ten Hag has had since he's been at Manchester United. So a season for firsts in a season that's been completely unpredictable as to what to expect from Manchester United. And I think if you see something like that, it's something that maybe a little flash in the pan in people's minds. Oh yeah, no, that's true. That was a very good win. Yeah, very convincing scoreline. Now I think the performance in and of itself probably not so much as convincing, and I think we're going to get a little bit of that. Very much the sort of you know end to end kind of games, a little bit out of control. But for me, if we're not going to play with control, let's play with heart and let's play with some passion and have players that want to, that will bleed for this shirt. And I think guys like Kobe Minu, Garnacho, two um, exemplary, um, exemplary, um, two two brilliant examples of players that will, that are down to earth. They're very humble in the opportunities that they have or they're given, and I think just all round very ideal candidates to going into tougher games and giving something, but build the team around those guys and put players that will be in the trenches with them, put players that will help to um, alleviate performances, to take some of the pressure or a fear factor of playing away from these guys. Now, I think if you were to say like half your team is going to be academy players, then you're kind of in trouble a bit. But having one or two in there, key players, key performances, um, and in very key positions in various aspects, because I believe Garnacho is, almost imperative for what this attack needs in the way in which we're playing at the moment. And Kobe Minu as well, for someone who just has, a good eye for a pass and has got a very cool head on his shoulders. And it's a bit of like a, chill out, chill out. We'll do what we need to do in due course. And I feel like having the senior players sort of built a team of senior players built around those players. As for the attack in terms of right hand side, I probably would imagine Rashford would start. I would still like to see Palestri get games because I believe that Palestri his time's got to be the season. Because if not now, then when? Because it's at that sort of stage now with Palestri. Um, and I suppose the question really is if Diallo's fit. I mean, Palestri's barely getting starts. That's with Diallo out of the first team picture as well. He's on the injury table. Not far away though. To be fair, not far away from getting back to action for Amad Diallo, which is good. It is very good news. But as for the team that I would probably say that I would like to see, I'll probably go something along the lines of what we saw against Everton, because I think it's like you see that performance and you say they delivered a good result, a very good result, and I think that's you should reward that by saying you did a fantastic job here. You need to go and do the same, if not better. Now, and it's build upon those things. Is do okay for one game, get a good result. Now you've got to keep doing better and better and better and better and better, and that's something that the manager Ten Hag has clarified numerous times in press conferences, post-match, pre-match, all sorts. And it's important that the team responds that way, that they do put in even better performances. And this is a perfect opportunity to do so, because the game after this is Newcastle away. And that I pretty much can assure you is going to be a complete write-off. But if there's anything to sort of feel upbeat about that game, would lie in us getting a good result against Galatasaray, and that's the perfect opportunity. So why not go out and do it? As far as the team is concerned, um, the same one against Everton as per what the lineups were. So I think that was Anana in goal. Uh, got Luke Shaw at left back, Maguire, Lindelof at centre backs. I think Johnny Evans is still not fit. We had Delo playing at right back, and he did deliver the cross for Garnacho's goal. So probably he'd start again. But again, I can't blame Ten Hag if he opts to go with Wan-Bissaka just for defensive coverage, I suppose, because he will have to deal with Wilfried Zaha, and Wilfried Zaha is a tricky player. He is a very tricky player, so you probably want to prioritise the defensive aspect and deal with the one-on-one threats there. As for the midfield, Kobe Minu, I'd like to see him start, and I think this team not as, say, physically dominant as an Everton team would pose to be. So I would probably say a Sofian Amrabat might be an ideal choice to go with here, just to finding passing, to find the passing lanes, to establish more of a possession, control, possession-based control in the game, and we should look to do that for me. As for who plays in front of them, probably Bruno Fernandes again. He delivered a very sumptuous assist. Fantastic pass to break the lines for Martial's goal, or the third goal scored in that game from Martial. Very, very good pass there, and I think that's sort of the quality that you can get with Bruno, and we should probably look to do that again because, let's be real, Galatasaray, Old Trafford, they played wide open. So if you got the space, and for me, Martial probably does start again. Um, if you can work that sort of space, the runs in behind, Bruno Fernandes to deliver the passes in the center, in the central positions, between the lines, between in the gaps where you can find. Martial gets on the end of them. Hey, Martial could get a couple goals tomorrow night. It's possible. He could get a couple goals. So, that's what I'm looking towards happening. Garnacho obviously starting on the left, and maybe Rashford probably starts on the right. For me, I would like to see Pellistri. I don't know what everybody else thinks about that. Whether you guys would want to see Pellistri start or Rashford starting on the right-hand side. For me, Garnacho's got to start on the left now. And then obviously, as I've mentioned already, Martial probably to start up top. Let me know what you guys think about the starting 11s in the comment section below. What do you guys think? As for team selections, who do you want? Which key players do you think you would want to see start in this kind of a fixture? And who do you think is going to be the most important player from that team that you select? And as for scoreline, I wrote this off after Copenhagen to say, look, we're not beating these guys away. For me, to be honest, I kind of wrote us off to not beat Everton. So, that was a 2-0 prediction to Everton. That was a 5-goal difference between my prediction and what actually happened. So, you know what? I think do I go with the bad omen thing that everything I predict the opposite happens? Or do I predict and just say, look, let's just take it by chance that it's going to happen? That perhaps, gut instinct says that, we've won a game, now we've got to lose a game before we win a game again. It's probably going to be a 2-1 type score line here. As for which way it goes, the pessimist in me says that United they're not consistent enough to go win against Everton and then beat another team in Galatasaray. They're not built like that. But then the optimist in me says, well, actually, there's a lot of takeaway points from that Everton game, and you're not facing a significantly tougher opponent. It's just a harder venue. The team is more or less a similar level of quality, but they play more defensively open, more attacking. If you play a defensive midfield plus, back four, back line, with players that are, good to soaking up pressure defensively, you've got some players who can hurt the opposition on the break. Use a bit of that adaptation to soak up the pressure and hit them on the break. And you know what? We could see ourselves a decent result, and it's possible. And I believe that that's just what we're dealt with at the moment. So it's probably going to have to be prime Ollie ball, like proper prime Ollie ball, like that back line being the team that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer used to line up with. As for the midfield, probably have Minu in it. They might choose Scott McTominay again. Who knows? But for what I'd like to see, same back line as Everton, but yeah, midfield to be the same as well. But yeah, let me know you guys thoughts and predictions in the comment section below, as well as your predicted starting 11s if you wish to do that, if you can be bothered to do that. I know people just usually can't be bothered to type out a full 11. If not, then who do you reckon the most influential, most important player is going to be in this game? Do be sure to leave a like, smash a like on the video, comment your thoughts and your feelings about this game. Are you confident? Are you nervous? Are you absolutely just lost for all hope in this game? Who knows? You guys can share with the rest of YouTube and the world in the comment section. Make sure also to subscribe, people. We are currently, I believe, 118 subscribers. Yes, we are. We are still two away from 120. Let's try and get that across the line, people. Thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate love, support you guys show this channel. It means a huge amount to me. Thank you very much, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Until then, it is goodbye from me. Take care, and speak to you all later.